Hello, we are back once again for another reaction video. Today we're reacting to Izzy Andrews, the #1 mindset that changes everything. Let's go.
Let's say that your vision right here, you're looking through this little peephole. All you get to see is what's in this little bottle. But if you were to take this away, you get to see a whole new world, and the same thing can be said about your perception on opportunities and things that are coming towards you. What you focus on ultimately expands. If you're constantly focusing on the negative aspects of your life, the negative aspects of this world, you're going to constantly draw in negativity. You're going to see the worst in every situation, the worst in every single person. But if you were to see abundance in everything and the world around you, because everything in this world is abundance. You could take a look around in the street and see an abundance of cars. You can take a walk in the city and see an abundance of buildings and people. There's abundance everywhere you go. So if you were to identify in your life that there's abundance all around you, you will constantly see new opportunities and new things of abundance popping into your life. What you focus on, you will attract.
This is true. So there's something that human beings have which is called the reticular activation system. Now what this basically is, it's like a part of your brain that is designed to look for things that you have programmed your brain to believe are important. So for instance, have you ever bought yourself a red car, right? Maybe you bought a red Ferrari or something like that. And then after you buy the Ferrari, on the street, you're constantly seeing other Ferraris, like you see them all the time. That is because buying that car signal to your RAS, your reticular activation system, that red Ferraris were important. Ergo, whenever you see them, now you care. Whereas beforehand, before you bought the car, you didn't care about red Ferraris and therefore didn't notice them when you passed them. So we think that our situations are our situations, but they're only our situations because we have programmed ourselves to believe that our situation is our situation. So if you're like, I don't have the relationship that I want with the ladies, but then what will happen is you will then do every freaking thing that you can subconsciously to prove that to be true. So like for instance, they did an experiment where they got some people, I think they were women, but it doesn't really matter. They put like a gigantic scar on their face, not like a real scar, but it was like painted on or whatever. Then they had the women look at the scar and see how hideous they looked. Then they subtly removed the scar from the women, right? So the women no longer have the scar, but they don't realize it. Then what they did was they had the women go out and start socializing. Here's the thing. These women were so primed to see themselves as ugly because they thought they had this gigantic scar, which they didn't have, that they then thought that everybody who was talking to them was viewing them negatively, and they were giving all this feedback about, oh, I could just feel their judgment and how they were looking down on me and things like this. So their RAS, their reticular activation systems, were scanning, trying to find evidence of the fact that these people were now judging them for the disfigurements that they had, which they didn't even have. So it's all in your head. It's all in your head. If you think you're something, then you're something. If you think you're not something, you're not that thing.
Opportunity wastes no time for those who are unprepared. So if you have your vision and your mindset on things that are negative, an opportunity and a blessing could be right in front of your face, and guess what? It's literally going to be like this, and you're not even going to see it. If you take two people who are in the same situation, and one of them has the mindset of, I am so unlucky, life is just happening to me, I'm going to be stuck here forever, I am not worthy, they are most likely going to be stuck in that situation forever. But if you take someone who is in the exact same scenario, and they have the mindset of, you know what, I can do anything that I put my mind to, I'm so lucky, I'm so abundant, I can create anything I want, they are most likely not only going to get out of that situation, but become very successful from that situation. Take whatever pain that they learned from being in that position to turn it into their purpose. You know, in a lot of my videos, I talk about bridging the gap between your pain and your purpose. And I truly believe that everything that we experience serves us for a certain reason. And it really just comes down to the perspective on how you believe this event has shaped you.
It's all about how you react to things that are going on around you. So like personally, the biggest growth I've ever had has always come from pain. Always. Because pain is actually a blessing. It's messed up, but it really is. And it's a blessing because pain puts you in a position to do things that you wanted to do already, but weren't motivated to do because you didn't have enough pain. So something I've learned is that when something messed up happens, use that pain as fuel. So like what people usually do is something happens and we go, etc. I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. And if you tell yourself you can't do it, then you actually can't do it. If you tell yourself, woe is me, you can't do it. I was talking to this guy once who's like, women are evil. Women are evil. Women are evil for this reason and this reason and this reason. This man wants women in his life. He wants to have sex with them. He wants girlfriends. He wants the works, right? But he's telling himself women are evil and that they just don't want him. Now, what I said to this man is something I'd say to you if you believe this, man, which is like, bro, if you think women are evil and terrible, you're never going to actually get them. You need to get past that. And this man is like living in a shell, and the shell is the pain, and the pain is like, what do I do? There's nothing I can do. What do I do? And feeling sorry for himself. You got to take the pain that you're going through and transmute that pain to progress. Walk forward anyway. Women are evil. What are you really saying? I am scared because women constantly reject me and I don't think I'm good enough. That's what's at the core of that. Okay, so face that. Face that, walk forward, don't stop, don't quit, don't give up. Yeah.
Perception to blessings and opportunities being around me all the time. Oh, what? Hold on. Anyways, what I was saying was I'm very grateful for the perception that I have on life and the way that I just view everything, because once I shifted my perception to I'm so lucky and opportunities are constantly around me, I was able to start to see the opportunities that were constantly around me, but I just wasn't seeing them before. For those of you who don't know me very well, my end goal is to be a motivational speaker. You know, my mom is a spiritual life coach and she also does events where I get to see her speak. She's been bringing me to Tony Robbins events since I was young, and that's just the goal I have in my life. And that's really, it's no longer a matter of if it's going to happen, it's just when it's going to happen. But with that being said, I very randomly went to this convention in Orlando for like financial advising, just learning about money, stuff like that. Super random. I don't even want to get into the backstory of why I was there because it's kind of a waste of time, but I was there. It was random. It was divinely orchestrated. And the opening speaker for the event was a motivational speaker. And I knew when I saw him speaking on stage, his name's Scott Burrows. When I saw him speaking on stage, I literally said, this is exactly why I am here. I need to talk to this man and I need to ask him questions. And literally as he's talking, I'm getting like this excited feeling of this is exactly why I'm meant to be here.
This is a bit of a tangent, right? But as you can see, this woman is spiritual. You might even say, woo woo. Let me say this. I love me some spiritual and some woo woo women. Two things to say to this. Number one, for whatever reason, when I'm like engaging with personal development content, for one reason or another, whenever I'm engaging with personal development content, I like to receive it from a woman. I'm not sure why. It's like, I'm not into any female stuff. Like, I don't watch female shows. I don't listen to music that's intended for women. I'm not into fashion particularly. Like, there's nothing really girly about me. But I like personal development that comes from a woman. And there's something about that grounded. Like, I'm feminine, but I've got my crap together. That kind of energy. I like that a lot. And something I found from watching women like this is that a lot of the stuff that we deal with in society and we think like, oh, it's just women. It's not just women. It's women that aren't grounded and don't have their crap together. It's women that aren't emotionally regulated. Because you see, like, women like her that work on themselves and are aware of the inner workings of their brain. They don't give you 10% of the BS that the regular woman walking down the street gives you at all. Like, the relationship is completely different. One great thing about women like this, right? So she just said, oh, I saw this man talking. I was like, this is the man. I need to speak to this man. Here's a great thing that I was saying, or an example of what I was saying about how these women are. I did some interviews yesterday where I went out and I spoke to women and I said, tell me something that you like about men. And most of the women couldn't answer the question. Like, their brains kind of short-circuited. It was honestly quite sad. There was a couple who were like, yeah, I like men for this reason and this reason and this reason, which was great. But just saying, like, tell me something you like about men, it was tough. And then once they started to answer it, they circled back to things that they hated. It's like, fucking hell. Women like this don't hate men at all. They see men as being like the opposite half of a whole. There's masculine and there's feminine, and the two halves come together. I like that a lot. You will find that if you engage with women who are personal development-y or spiritually focused, that's the way they view men and masculinity, and it's a breath of fresh air. But anyway, I digress.
And I'm going through different ways, like, oh, maybe I'll see him in the hotel or something, or maybe I'll just go up to him after he talks. And after, he's like, I'm going to do a book signing. So I literally was like, I am going to go down and speak to him. I'm going to let him know that I want to become a motivational speaker and that I just started the journey. I just started by posting my YouTube videos and just really wanting to inspire other people. I'm not the kind of person who gets nervous, but I really was. Like, low key, I got super anxious. You know when you get those like little anxious shakes, but they're like internal, like you're kind of cold? Yeah, that's what I was feeling. And I just said, hi, my name's Izzy and I'm on the path to be a motivational speaker. I'd love to talk to you. And he looks up at me and he says, really? So he goes into his wallet and he hands me a card with his number and his email. And, you know, from there, I was like, yes, I did it. I literally was so happy and so excited because I felt deep down that is why I was supposed to be at the event. I ended up following up with him and having conversation with him, and he gave me so many different resources that I really, really needed to further push my journey. Have you ever really, really wanted something and you didn't know how exactly you were going to get it, but somehow the opportunity just literally fell in your lap and you're like, whoa, thanks God, like that was cool. The power of our focus and our attention is so strong because what you spend all day focusing on, you create in your brain certain pathways to only recognize things that will help you further down that path, that will help you get to the goal that you're wanting to achieve. We have this part in our brain called the reticular activating system, and this part of our brain allows us to notice certain things in the world.
That's what I was talking about.
So when you are constantly focusing on something and you're focusing on an end goal of what you want to create, your brain literally starts noticing different things that would help you achieve that goal. You know, the thing with like manifesting and stuff like that is, of course, I believe in manifesting. I think it's completely real, but some people have the view of, oh, it's not of God and stuff like that. But manifesting also plays very hand in hand with psychology and directly in correlation with the subconscious mind, because when you constantly imprint an image in your mind of what it is that you want to create, you reprogram your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind affects your conscious everyday behaviors. So if in your mind you're saying to yourself, I'm so abundant and I'm so successful and I am a top blah blah blah, let's say for me, I'm a top motivational speaker and I believe this to be true, your subconscious mind has no idea the difference between what is real and what is fake.
This is something for us to all be aware of. And then I've got some thoughts about her as well I want to share afterwards. So what she's saying is facts upon facts upon facts. So I use the analogy, the metaphor of dating, because that's one of the main reasons why people are here. The reason why you struggle with dating is because you believe you struggle with dating. You go, well, what the hell does that mean? What it means is this. In your head, there is a program running, like your brain, right, has loads of little mini scripts that are running in it. And there is one that says, how successful am I with the ladies? Your program says that you are unsuccessful or not as successful as you want to be. And the thing is, well, like the way to get the success is to change the program. That is it. Like the way to get success at anything is to change the program. So like for instance, this is an example. You decide that you want to get in shape, right? Okay, I want to get in shape. I'm going to get hot, fit, sexy. So you need to start performing certain actions, right? You've got to exercise, you've got to diet and all of that good stuff. But the thing is, once you start performing those actions, what will happen is your brain will be like, whoa, this doesn't run with our program, and then your brain will try and pull you back. That's the reason why if you've ever had like a fitness New Year's resolution, you gave up after about 6 weeks, because it flies against the program. Everybody has these programs that run them, and the things in our lives that we want to fix, you got to change the program. Now it's like, okay, well, how do you do that? You got to show your brain that changing is less painful than staying the same, because your brain thinks that operating in conjunction with a new identity, a new reality is danger, that you might die. your brain thinks that the program, the personality that you have is essential to your survival. So you have to show your brain why changing is less painful than staying the same, which is like why you might get a drug addict who gets a health scare from the doctor. The doctor says, yeah, you've got like 6 months to live if you don't get off the drugs. And that's the thing that does it, because it's like, whoa, I do not want to die. There's other things that you can do, like shadow work as well, journaling, and like listing out the ways that you are screwing yourself over by being the way that you are, and how your life will be better by changing. But the fact is, you got to change that personality trait. If you want to like get good with the ladies, you got to visualize yourself with the ladies. You got to visualize yourself. You know, if you can't visualize yourself holding a woman by the hand, pulling her in close and kissing her, if you can't even see that in your head, you'll never be able to physically do it. In order for you to be able to physically do it, for your subconscious to go, okay, this is something that we do, I'm gonna let this mofo actually do the thing, you got to see yourself doing it, and that means visualizing it a lot. Anyway, there's that. Another thing is this is a woman, right? And she's young as well, like what, 23, 4, like I think she's 25 at the most. She's somewhere between 20 and 25. Why am I watching her when she's a woman in between 20 and 25? She's significantly younger than me. Number one, right? I don't know why, but I can get information from people who aren't like me. Most people can't do that. So like I watch a lot of these female creators, and they're speaking about things that male creators are speaking about, but they'll throw in like little things like getting their nails done or pedicures or buying handbags. I'm guessing like most men will see that and go, well, this isn't for me, she's talking about buying a handbag. But it's like the general principles of what she's saying don't really matter. Like it doesn't matter who you are, they apply to everybody. Like take the pedicure thing and swap that for buying a PS5. Take the handbag and swap that for getting, I don't know, a new gadget, man, like some masculine shit, I don't know, a coat, a pair of shoes, some jeans, a gold chain. You get the point. There's that. Another thing as well, so it's like she is way more secure and settled than I was at that age, way more. So there's a part of me that thinks like, boy, you know, she's doing something that I wasn't, or she's ahead of me. But you know, it just is what it is, isn't it? Like, more power to her. She's got her ish together, and I feel energy, and like I respect it a lot. So the 1 to 2% to me that's like, oh, I wasn't this composed at that age. Well, it just is what it is, isn't it? And you know, you can learn from anybody. Why can I, a black man in his 40s, not learn from a white woman in her 20s? Why?
So before I'm going to bed every night and I'm just visualizing myself to be this version of me that I want, I am envisioning myself speaking on stages and helping people, I'm going to start taking the actions for that image to become true. Your subconscious mind translates into your conscious mind that affects your everyday behaviors. That is why it is so important to watch what you are putting into your subconscious mind. Be careful and make sure that whatever you are putting into your subconscious mind is something that you actually want to create. Because again, your subconscious mind has no idea the difference between what is real and what is fake. And even if that fake scenario is a bad thing, it will start to materialize that. Let's say you tell yourself every night before you go to bed, I'm such a loser, I can't do anything, I'm not smart, blah, blah, blah. You are going to take the actions of a loser because your subconscious mind believes that you are a loser. It doesn't matter if it's not true, but if you tell yourself that over and over again, it will become true.
Seriously, your brain has no interest in making you happy. Doesn't give the tiniest damn, the tiniest fuck, the tiniest crap. Doesn't give a damn, like, at all. All it cares about is keeping you alive. All it cares about is having you act in concurrence with the program. Like, this is why hypnotists like work, right? So you've seen hypnotists where they will hypnotize some woman and make her believe she's a dog, and she starts barking like a dog. Why? Because they get her subconscious mind to believe that she's a dog, so she starts operating in concurrence with that programming. If you think you are not a sexy man, you want to allow yourself to do sexy things. Let me give you an example, right? I'll give you an example. You see me, yeah? You see me, man like me, yeah? I never really thought I was sexy, never really did. But if you'd have asked me, I wouldn't have told you that, but I never really did still. Anyway, one day I just decided, you know what, yeah, man's gonna just start telling himself he's sexy. So I did, and I like every day I'm like, I'm sexy as fuck. I am sexy as fuck. Everybody knows I'm sexy as fuck. Now, you wanna know 2 things that happened once I started saying that I was sexy. It's crazy. You see I'm wearing these earrings, right? I'm wearing these earrings. One day, I just like had an urge to start wearing earrings. I was like, where'd this come from? Where? And then I had an urge to start wearing gold chains. Now, it was like something I couldn't get out of my brain. I just kept thinking, I need earrings, I need earrings, I need earrings. Here's what happened. Subconsciously, I always believed that silvery, goldy, blingy earrings and a chain was sexy. Whether you agree or not is not the point. I believed it deep down, but I didn't believe I was sexy. So as a result, I didn't allow myself to wear them, and I just told myself that it wasn't for me, or like I was above it. But then once I started like affirming that I'm sexy, one day I was like, let me get myself some earrings. You see? And it's like, and you get the point I'm making. It's all about like how you see yourself. The way you see yourself dictates the actions that you will allow yourself to take. It's nuts.
Like negative self-talk and calling yourself dumb or stupid is ultimately bringing you down. If you were to take a time where you thought in your head, I'm so dumb, I'm so stupid, I can't do anything. What if you were to say, you know what, I'm so smart. I know maybe I might have made a little mistake just now, but I know that I'm so smart and I could do anything that I put my mind to. Which one makes you feel better? Something that I think is super good to do is whenever you have a limiting belief pop up, or if you ever have any negative self-talk, literally go to your notes app and write it down and switch this to a belief that you want to be true. Switch this with a positive affirmation. And if you don't have time to go into your notes app and write it down, do it in your mind. If you catch yourself talking negative to yourself, literally just switch it to something that is positive, something that is uplifting, because, you are never going to get anywhere if you're constantly bringing yourself down.
Bruce Lee said this, and Bruce Lee was very, 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 very true. And you know who else said this besides Bruce Lee? Kieran Paul Brown. But basically what he said is this: everything that you say to yourself, your brain's listening and your brain's taking it in. So never put yourself down unless you want that put down to be your identity. You call yourself an idiot, you call yourself a weirdo, you call yourself a freak, call yourself whatever, you will start to believe it. So don't say it. Never, ever, ever put yourself down. Now the messed up thing is that so many of us were put down by caretakers as kids, right? And then you create this internalized voice, and the internalized voice is basically them. Like, so they train you, like they're training you, and they're like, you're an idiot, what's wrong with you? You're an idiot, what's wrong with you? You're an idiot. And then that just like gets into your brain, and then you just start running out on a loop like, you're an idiot, what's wrong with you? You're an idiot, what's wrong with you? You're an idiot. And that you gotta change that. But like, easier said than done, yeah. But one thing, do not allow yourself to entertain negative thoughts about yourself. Like, don't. You gotta stop that. Stop it. I'm not an idiot. I'm not a loser. I'm great. Sexy AF. Freaking fantastic.
Ever. Something that I've struggled with a lot has been self-image and like my body image. And I know you could say, oh, but Izzy, you're so beautiful. And I know I'm beautiful and I'm very grateful I am. But sometimes I struggle with my self-image and just the way I see myself. That's just the truth. And something that's really helped me is whenever I talk bad about my body or just my looks or something that I don't really like, I just say, Izzy, you're so beautiful. And then I just envision myself as literally, I know this sounds like kind of weird, but I just envision myself as like this glowing, like beautiful girl, because we all are. We're all beautiful spiritual beings.
So here's the thing. Couple of things. Number one, she said, I know I'm beautiful. I really admire. She said it so matter-of-factly. It wasn't like with ego. It was just with like a knowing, you know? Like, yeah, I know I'm beautiful. I like that a lot. She's talking about what she does when her self-esteem starts to bring her down, and she says, I just picture myself as this like glowing, beautiful girl. And you might watch that and you go, well, how does this relate to me? She pictures herself as a glowing, beautiful girl. But your version of that isn't the glowing, beautiful girl. It's the strong, powerful, masculine man, or the cool, sexy, suave man. So you got to be able to separate the exact word someone is using from the underlying message that they're trying to get across. I am not some beautiful flowy girl who's going to wear high heels, but that's not the point she's making. Whatever the ideal archetype is for you, that's what you visualize when you're starting to feel down. That's pretty much the point. And you know, my archetype will be different to you, and your archetype will be different to her. That's effectively it. Now, we have been at this for 30 minutes, so I think this is a good place to end it, man. This is Izzy Andrews, but there's a link in the description anyway. I discovered her a few days ago. I like she had like magnetism. She's got presence, and I like that a lot. Check that out. Let me know what you think about this as well, because this isn't like a trending video per se. This is literally me reacting to a personal development YouTuber. So I'd love to know what you think. I'd love to know your thoughts about everything that's below here. Do let me know. Another thing is this. I am an author. My life's passion isn't this. Like, I like this a lot. To be fair, this is probably part of my life's passion, but it's not like the deep intrinsic thing. The deep intrinsic thing is me, yours truly, writing books, novels. And I got 3. If you like the cut of my jib, I would really like you to read one of my books. The last one is called N-Word. It is sick. 85-year-old white woman dies and is immediately reborn in the body of a 23-year-old black OnlyFans model. She goes on a voyage of sex and discovery, violence, drug abuse, cerebral torture, psychological journey. It's deep, it's dark, it's spiritual, it's erotic, it's a great read. Please do read it. There's a link in the description. Also, do you want to be coached by me, yours truly? Do you? Do you watch this video and think, you know what, this is the guy to take me to where I want to be, both in terms of yourself or with the ladies? Book a call. There is a link on the screen right now. Other than that, also, yes, I'm asking you to do a lot of stuff, and I do appreciate that, but you know, if you could do it, would help. Do like and subscribe as well, because that's the very least thing that you can do, because I can see that week to week I'm growing like a stable of followers, like a core stable of really engaged followers, which I appreciate. I really do. Like, I love you guys, and actually I want you to let me know who you are. The tiniest thing that you can do that will actually really move the needle: tap the like button, tap subscribe if you haven't, share it with somebody, drop a comment. It makes all the difference. You would be freaking surprised. But yeah, this is the Man Manual. Me, Kieran Paul Brown, your guide to being a man, to being a man. In 2026, or whatever the hell year you're watching it, 2042, 2047, 2099. Spider-Man 2099. We're done. Thank you for your time. And that rhymed.